back-end code, then you can copy your API inside. After that, you have a contract address. So once you deploy your contract, you have the contract address. So when you go and edit your source code and you redeploy your contract again, you have a new contract address. So you need to copy again, okay? And you need to copy your API again if you edit your source file. So then you can see over this code, okay? Because we are using the Web3. This is the Web3 library. We need to have it. So the Web3 library is actually from the Ethereum, Windows Ethereum. Okay? We don't go and detail and learn from your front end, from your Windows, this particular your object. So that's why I wait for the new Web3 object we created for our Web3. This is we create for that. Then after this, you can see I'm using the Web3. I said that I'm using the Windows.web3.either contract to web to the API and look for my address. Okay, that's why I said for the front end we not focus on our source file, product.source file we know. You can see our product.source file is on the remix there. You can see or not? Okay, so we are not zip the file inside the one project folder. Okay, so then after this, I'm using the inner.html to display this message. This is just a message. I want to display the message telling you that I already connected to the smart contract. So now we wanted to know how to call the function because after you connect to the MetaMask, only you can further add on to call your backend function. So once I have it over here inside this part, as I said, we have connect MetaMask. Second thing is we go and retrieve our contract data. So I purposely said that I will have a product name called child house inside or then either. I want to let you know how to retrieve the data. Okay, so I need to call the function. I have a function called read from contract, this function. So the code will be over here. The code will be over here, over this side. Look at the step number 8. Okay, I need to call get initial product, this function. And over here is the step, this particular step. You go and copy this, then I explain to you. Okay, I explain to your guy. So I copy this whole thing. I copy whole things and I paste it on my this server script also under the JavaScript, not server script, but JavaScript. After this way, I'm going to copy it over, okay, another part, okay, like this way, okay. So if you go and look at my code here, so I will call read from contract. This is my function name, okay. I'm saying for that, so this is a compulsory need to have. And how to call the method down, my dear? Look at here. Okay, we have two methods to call. One is retrieve the data using call function .call. Then this is my backend product name, my backend function name. Get initial product is my function name from the backend. Okay, and this one actually also is inside the API one. I mentioned inside my API one. Okay, so then method. I'm using window.contract. From window, you go and call for your contract. From the contract, look for the method. The method is get init product column.call. Because this get init product is only real function. You retrieve the data. You're not passing the data in. So you retrieve the data. That's why in front here you have this variable called data. Constant data, because you don't want people to modify. So that's why this data you have this data consists of many. Okay, based on your backend code over here. In this product from this backend code, look back on your remix. Okay, your backend code over here. You can see under your function called get initial product, what you're going to return. You return the first data is product. address. You return 3 data back to the front end. Okay? Back to the front end, the 3 data. Okay? String, unsigned integer, and address back to the front end. So when you wanted to display the data, so how I'm going to display the data? So as you can see over this side, over here, this particular part data here, this data got three data there. Okay, the product name, the product price, and also the owner address. So that's what I'm using. You can display the whole data in one line. I'm using this method called document.getElement by ID called owner product. I got one paragraph P tag, got the ID called owner product. After that, I said .inner.html. So I have a long message. Okay, how am I going to display? So you can see the owner product information. So I have this one. Remember this symbol. This symbol is not the single quotations. This is the special symbol on your tab key, above of the tab key, the one. So I said that I want the owner product information. Then I put BR product. So after that, I'm using the column. So what I wanted to show you over here is I got the message that I want to display on the front end together with the data from the variable. So the data, he said that using this simple $sign, curly bracket, the data is the index number 0. I got 3 data. I have 3 values inside this data. Okay? So I display the product name, then I have a space bracket, then I want to display the price of the wave because back end I said 10 either. I straightforward to define my product, my child house is 10 either. So when you return, is a wave price, not the either one. So then the index and so on. So this is a combination with the message, string message together with the data. That's why you're using $sign. This is using this method. Okay? This method. So if you say that, okay, I don't want to have string method so long one, so I will have I make it much more easy one. I'm using this method called document.element by ID. I got the P tag. The P tag got the ID name called data area 0. Then .inner.html. I directly display. I don't have any string message. Okay? So I directly display 1, 2, 3 data back on the screen back. So I save it and you go and refresh it again. So I don't need to run again. I just refresh my MetaMask again. Okay? Click over here, connect to the MetaMask and get your data. Okay? So you will get this data. So product, owner, product information, the whole thing is in terms of one string. Because I got the product name, product price, owner address. This one is the one that I show you on the second part. Okay? I don't have the name, I don't have the message to be displayed. I directly prompt up for you. Okay? So this is a combination. The whole thing is print on the one string message. Okay? So from that. Okay? So now, after this, we go and, okay, hold on, we move on. You should be able to get it. You connect back to the MetaMask already, you connect back to the contract, this should be no problem already. So after we done this, next thing is we go and look for buy product. Okay? So for the buy product, you copy this code. Okay? So we buy product. As you can see, the product, where is the product? The product is belong to who? Look at here. Look back to your code. Your product is belong to your first address. Because first address are the address that used to deport your contract. So you can see that now. This is your first address. Okay? Your first address. So later on, we need to use another address to become the buyer. So now we go and copy this one, buy product, this function. Okay, we copy this, paste it over on your script over there. Okay. So now, because of the buy product, you need to pass it in the data now. Okay, you can see that. I get you have a look at your back-end code first. You understand your back-end code, then you understand why we shall do so. Okay. So okay, over here, you say buy product. Buy product, you need to pass it in. You need to pass it in your the buyer address. Am I right? Am I right? You need to pass it in your buyer address. So just now the child address, you can see this one child product. My house is there either, and my address are already recorded down inside my state variable there. Am I right? So the seller address already there, my address already here. You no need to ask buyer to copy my address. Your back end already have the seller address. So that is the reason why, even those over here, I only have the address. I only need to have a buyer address to pass it in. But why he know where is the seller? The reason is, you can look at my front end over here, my buy product. When I call the buyer buy product this function, what I'm going to I'm going to retrieve my data. I'm using window contract method dot get initial product dot call. Why I'm call this? Because I need to know the product information. So over here my data, I know when I call this function, I got three values. First value is the product name. Second value is the product price. Third value is seller, the owner address. So that's why first thing, when I retrieve the data from the back end, I know what is the price of this product. So the price of the product is on the index number 1. So I'm storing this index number 1 data put inside the price. So no account amount set the price by himself. The back end price already given is retrieved from the back end. Okay? So then the address, my address also retrieved from the back end, because back end already recorded down my owner address. So when the data retrieved, the index number 2 is the address of the owner. So the product name not important because now we want to do the transaction only. Okay? So that's why over here, await. Now I'm calling for the buy product already. Await window contract dot method buy product. Okay? Buy product. The owner address, because I'm passing who should the one who receive the money. Is the owner should receive the money, because buyer pay the money to the owner. So to receiver is the owner address. Okay? So that's why I'm passing the owner address in here. And then dot send. It's different already. This is the dot call. Retrieve data. Dot send is you passing in the data in there to the back end. To where? From your account. Over here. I minimize again. From where? From the account. You know this account is referred to what? The account that you active. Under your MetaMask, which account is currently active? That active account will be the one who wanted to be a buyer. That account are the one that you want to use it to buy the product. So that's why the account over there. Why I need to retrieve the account. Okay? So then, comma, value. I'm passing the input parameter, because this is what? MSG dot value. This is the MSG dot center from this part. Okay? For account here is MSG dot center. The value here is MSG dot value. That's why price. The price I retrieve from your back-end price. Your back-end price said that there is a 10 either. That's why I must make sure it's 10 either. Not account amount set the price by themselves. Okay? So from there, I sift the file again. I sift this one and I come back to over here. I'm going to refresh my program. Okay? So run again, connect here, and I get to MetaMask. As you can see, the owner address is this one. Okay? D8F0. So that's why I cannot use the owner address, the seller to become buyer. Okay? So that's why I go and change to another address. That's why I say you need to have at least 2 accounts over there. So I'm going to change to another account. So let's say I'm changing to the account number, third account. So my third account is EA32, my account number here. So this one is my active account already. Okay, so you can see this is my active account. Okay, EFA32, and this one is the owner address. So now I go and buy product. Okay, so you can see when I buy the product, front end I don't minus any price. Automatically your MetaMask will know that it's a 10 either, and you have enough money for your MetaMask. That's why I don't do any back-end checking for whether my account got money or not. Okay? So then over here the transaction fee all gone, already done for you. You don't need to check for that. So that's why I just say process, confirm. Okay. Done already. This is what I said. Transaction is happened already. Transaction is happened because I'm not using event handler. I'm using the return method. That's why you can see that under the transaction, you already update the product, the owner. So I'm going to get the contract again. You can see the address already updated. The address is become this address anymore. Not the child, not the first address anymore. Get what I mean not? So this is why I said I don't use event handler. If I'm using event handler, I need to write the event listening on my server script. Get me now? So here I'm writing my JavaScript over there. It's much more simple and easily for you. Just a simple call and back, not very user friendly, but it's still okay. It's work for that. So this is what I wanted to tell you. You go back to call and retrieve your data and so on. This is the most simple way you can achieve for your assignment. Okay? Okay? So to demo that, okay? No need to have a very chunky, beautiful front-end UI designer. So make yourself just need to demo that you can move from the back end only. You know how to call, you need to know how to back return. Okay? So this is what I wanted to cover for today. Okay? So the next thing is buy product, finish, accept product. This is the last part. Just now the product still child product. So my product sold it to somebody already. So maybe you have somebody wanted to set the product. So that's why you need to add in the section. Okay, from here I do not have the label. So let us continue. We still got another 10 minutes, very fast one. So this one is I'm added the div container because after I think that I need to let you know how to set the new product. So I need to make sure you have a user input data, allowed to have an input data. Okay? So I copy this div container, paste back to my, not the server script. I paste it on over here. After the read contract over here, I go to have over this side. I have a div container. Okay? Okay? So under the div container, you can see that I got one button. Over here, I got one button called update product. Okay? I got this set new product function. Okay? So that's why, same thing, means that you pass it data back to your back end for setting the data. So that's why over here, I will have the function. This is a function, how to set your product, set new product. So the price, you go and retrieve. So you always using document.get element by ID dot inner HTML. That is for you to display the message. that is you use to display your message on your HTML page. So now you wanted to retrieve your data from your HTML page, store it inside your variable, and then use that variable to pass it back the data to the backend code. So that's why over here I'm using this dot value. As you can see over here, I'm using this. Okay, document dot get element by ID, then you have the ID name for the text box and so on, then dot value. I go and take the value and store inside my state variable, my variable over there, and then I pass it. You can see the passing also the same thing. You using window.contract.method.set_product. Remember this set product, this name is referred to your backend code name, and based on your backend code, what is your input parameter data you're passing in, you go to have a product name, you go to have a product price. From where? From your account. This one is your msg.sender. Okay? From that part. So that's over here. This part. So I'm going to copy this. Same thing. I go back to my script over here. The last part of the script over this side. I save. So after save, I go back to my nothing already, no need to change or anything. We go and refresh it. Okay? So I got these two things. So now connect to the MetaMask, connect to your contract, connect to your this one. Okay, this is a house. You can see your house is belong to the second buyer already. Okay, so now I'm going to set the product, update the product. I put everything in one page. So now I'm going to change the address. Remember, when you set the product, you need to know the address, owner address. I purposely wanted to change the address to show you that we update the owner address. So I'm going to change the address to become the second address. The second address. Okay, I'm using the second address to connect. 8299. My second address is 8299. Account second account. Okay, so you can see this is the second account that I'm using to connect. My product still this one product called Child House. For example, now I'm going to set the product name called BMW card. For example, so then I got the price. Let's say I'm going to have a 5. Remember, front end wave value, not 5 either. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, for example. So I have a 5 either. So you said just so inconvenient, I don't do a conversion. Okay, I don't go and conversion for the price. So I go and update my product. So because update a product, you are going to do writing to your state. So that's why you can see my address is account number 2. You write it back to your contract. This is your contract address. So then over here, you go and have writing. No choice, you need to pay your gas fee. So I confirm on this one. So now you go and get back your product. BMW updated already. So your backend code, the child house already have it, but it's in your record. You're not deleted, you still got that. Okay? You can see your block change is here. You look at this side. Okay? Your transaction is this one, your block all here. And your contract, the one that you can't see the project workspace. Okay? You can see the contract, you only can deploy the contract, you have it. Okay? The block only can be minded. Okay? Your transaction is not recorded over here. Create transaction contract. Okay? Contract to contract. Okay? Not here. Because you're not in the entire project. There is a problem if you are not using Truffle. If you're using complete Truffle, you will be able to see the detail instruction. You can see the detail contract, not only the contract for minded only, minded the transaction. Okay, so this is a part. Okay, can get the idea how to start to link back to your front end. Okay? If you think that your group cannot do a front end very nicer one, okay, this one is enough. Okay? Can talk to your front end, can see your front end, can pass back the data to the back end and so on. Okay? Okay, let me take attendance before you can go. If you have any question, please ask. If no, then so this one does not involve to the remix one, not involved for the truffle, but it's remix. If you wanted to say, Michelle, I want to know how to use for the truffle one, then you need to look for the lab exercise number 8 also inside your folder 8 and 9. Okay, that will be more complicated front end design, and it will be more complicated server script design over there. So this one, Chintayu, Gan, LAI, Lan,
他是那个 JavaScript 有问题吧？
Li,
他是口妹，他变成
another Li Yung Kai, Li Wei Han,
没有
Wei Han, on here. Leong, Lo, another is Sammy, so the next one Dan Sui, not here. Then another one, Tang T and G. Tang T H-A-N. Wong. Y-E-O-W. Y-E-O-N-G, okay? Okay? That's all for today.
拜拜。你有操作到吗？有设置吗？有。可以了，现在可以了。